We're talking to Stewart Nelson, Director and Founder of NOAA Consulting. Welcome, Stewart.
Thank you very much for having me.
Stuart, maybe tell us a bit about yourself and how your work led you to PPDM.
Started as a background in the oil and gas industry around applications and saw a struggle in finding out how applications both interact and the data that they create is made available to individuals who need to consume that. And that led us to, is there something out there that could effectively help people in the industry? And about 6 years ago, we started to get actively involved in PPDM and started to see the model create some great opportunities for us to do work around that. And then we saw the model start to mature slightly, and the improvements started to begin for all of us in the industry around PPDM.
Now, I understand that PPDM is going through an evolution, and there's quite a bit of work to be done there.
Absolutely. What we've seen, at least from our perspective, is customers saying, I need PPDM to be a provider of services, not services in the form of individuals going out and implementing solutions, but providing us with value-added elements associated with the model. I've heard so many times that it's just a model, and now you start to see what is a well, business rules, and some of the new well numbering that were talked about today at the conference. Those are the attributes of a model moving into becoming an association. And you start to see technical, business, as well as data management professionals all being able to take advantage of those things.
Now, there's several tremendous initiatives going on at PPDM at the moment. Tell us about some of them that are exciting you the most.
I'd say right now, what is a well 1 and what is a well 2 probably have the greatest amount of interest because it has a visual capability of explaining data management to a variety of different participants in an organization. You saw presentations today referencing and using the materials to communicate what is a well inside of their vernacular to business, technical, and data management professionals. That's never been feasible before. There's been a lot of subjective discussion around what it is and a lack of understanding, and that's caused us a great deal of challenge.
Now, you've, as a consultant, you've come into contact with quite a few of the industry players, and they're learning about PPDM and using PPDM. What kind of feedback are you getting from your clients?
I guess the first feedback is it's a lot of hours that they do not have to deal with based on all the experience contributed by the players thus far. The second side of it is where are we going with PPDM? What are we bringing that would add value to the model? And that's some of the evolution that we've already talked about. We hear a great deal of satisfaction, but we have a strong desire to move forward, and that's why the board, the voting taking place later today, is so very important. We have a number of people that are very interested, very passionate, and very excited about taking that input and turning it into either a work group or an output of that work group.
Where do you see PPDM in 10 years?
Wow, that's a great question. I see it becoming a centerpiece for a variety of applications. You heard people talking about it becoming a golden standard implementation or a certified implementation. If we could arrive at that state to where everyone could build connectors, connection points, delivery layers associated with that, it would be wonderful, but I think there's still a lot to go. But in 10 years, I see the asset itself being information, and the asset less being the well or the borehole or the total depth of an asset. It's the information that we have that we can move very easily throughout a company, exchange between different companies, or even bought and sold. So PPDM will be the centerpiece of those things.
We've seen some tremendous presentations the last 2 days, the conference here. Anyone in particular catch your interest?
I think they're all very interesting. It depends on which slant you're looking for. If you're looking for a purely technical slant, there is a variety of different interesting new technologies that are always brought each year. Very, very interesting. If you look at it from something that was presented by, and I have a bias, by our organization, and John Ruddy talking about the combination of operational and financial data, that's the next trend, I think, for PPDM. And then you saw Pat Ryan from Nexen talking about taking and communicating throughout your organization the value of PPDM. And you see all the elements of that and you start to think, I should be able to incorporate those in my messages going back out through the industry.
Now, anything I haven't asked you about that you'd like to mention?
Not that I can think of. If you look at if you look at the maturity of what this organization has the capability of doing, you see the increased buy-in across the global community, which is the largest area of growth potential. How do we take it out to the Middle East, to Western Europe, to Northern Africa? Those are the things that are where it will be in the 10 years, and how do we get there? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm looking forward to working and supporting work groups that help us do those things.
Stewart, thank you very much for taking time to talk to us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much for your time as well.